All right, why don't we
Speaking of embarrassing, Threads.
Yeah.
Threads has been launched. Meta's new Twitter competitor, Threads, has reportedly accumulated over 30 million users within its first 24 hours. The app is not entirely polished and lacks support for both emojis and hashtags.
Quick update to that number. It's apparently over 78 million now.
Cool. There is no dedicated chronological following feed, though one is planned. I'm sure hashtags and emojis will be as well. The app requires an Instagram account to join and offers new users the option to follow everyone they already follow on Instagram. There is currently no method of deleting the Threads account without also deleting the attached Instagram account, though they can be independently deactivated.
Whatever that means.
I don't fully know. I think it means your data's not gone, but like you can't log into it anymore. I don't know.
Okay.
This may violate a consent decree placed by Meta by the FCC because it misleads the user about the degree to which they can control their own data.
All right, some of this stuff's getting into the weeds a little bit. Can we just sort of generally talk about how utterly remarkable it is that Elon Musk has gone from being the technology industry's poster boy for how to be like an awesome, billionaire innovator to being so hated that people are actually cheering for Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, in multiple ways. Because they also want him to fight.
In like 2 years. That's how long that fall from grace took.
I just want to say, I've been pointing out for a long time, I don't think it would be that hard to make a Twitter competitor. And people keep on telling me that I'm nuts. They've only been working on this since like January. They have over 70 million users.
I mean, I think it was kind of a really smart move. Like, I'm annoyed. I don't have a Threads account because I actually do not have an Instagram account. Oh. Because I had the work one, and I used that as my Instagram account.
Oh, yeah. So when you did your split thing back in the day, you just didn't make an Instagram account?
I just didn't bother making an Instagram account because I'm sitting here going, well, what is Instagram?
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
I think I uploaded a picture to Instagram like 3 years ago, and it was just I was on a hike, and it was just a picture of the burrito that I was eating while I was on the hike.
That should have been a tweet for sure. That's actual garbage content.
Yeah.
And so I didn't really understand the point of Instagram, and like our former cinematographer Brandon tried to explain it to me. He was like, it's like better, and I was like, what does that even mean? He's like when you're scrolling, it's better, and I'm like, I'm sorry. I actually have no capacity to understand what you're talking about right now, and I'm not going to scroll either of them, so it doesn't really matter. So anyway, I don't have an Instagram account, and it was like it took longer than like 3 seconds to, I would have had to log into my password manager in order to, validate my login with Facebook or something. And I was just like, forget it. But to their credit, I think it was kind of genius to tie the branding and everything into Instagram instead of...
Gives you more confidence?
Instead of calling it Threads by Facebook or something like that.
Oh, yeah. No, definitely.
Because the brand cachet of Instagram is obviously, way better than Boomer Facebook or whatever. And what's kind of interesting about this is I feel like what they're doing is they are acknowledging indirectly that every social media platform kind of has a cycle. I think they've just accepted at this point, and this is something I didn't really catch on to when they rebranded to Meta. I think they have accepted at this point that the Facebook brand is basically like just done.
Yeah.
It's annihilated. There's nothing left of it. So they are slowly but surely just kind of going, okay, well, I don't know, use it for marketplace or whatever. We'll happily take your data about what you're selling and buying in the second hand or whatever. And if, people want to post pictures of their, family outing or whatever on Facebook and they can like it or whatever, sure, fine, go do that. But we understand everything's moving to Instagram, and we understand Instagram ain't going to be around forever either. And so by migrating, remember the Instagram branding changed to like Instagram by Facebook for a long time there. Build. Okay, this is Threads by Instagram, and then they migrate a bunch of people who are interested in changing. Like, that's the thing, is I'm getting to be all boomery. Like, why do I still use Twitter at all? Honestly, just like out of habit.
Yeah.
Whereas it tends to be people who have a little bit more time, a little bit more elasticity left in their brains that are just going to try to jump onto something new just for the sake of trying it. So they jump onto Threads. It's going to naturally have a younger, more vibrant user base. And eventually Instagram will turn into like for, millennials or, geriatric Gen Zs or whatever. And this is going to be the new meta. Haha.
Very good.
I get it. I get it now. And it's like kind of genius. I'm surprised it worked this well.
It's a lot of self-awareness. Yeah, it's I think when I jumped on it, because why not? I was interested. I wanted to mostly just reserve my username. I haven't threaded anything.
I hate it already.
Yeah, that's terrible. I've never actually said that out loud before. That sounds horrible.
Sounds like hair removal.
Yeah. I haven't threaded anything yet, but the follow everyone you follow on Instagram thing was smart, because it immediately makes your Threads experience feel vibrant, because a bunch of these people that you probably follow on Instagram are already on there. So instead of like, I'm going to follow the like few people that I don't care about that Twitter makes me follow when I sign up, it's like, these are people that I already know. And hey, look, they're already on Threads. There's actually stuff happening here. One of the big problems that I think a lot of the other like Twitter clones that have popped up have is that it just feels dead when you show up.
Yeah.
I also noticed, at least when I started using it, I don't know if this has changed or not yet, because it sounds like a decent amount has already literally changed, but they were hiding certain metrics, which probably made sense in the first like few hours. Now that they have 70 million users, maybe they need to start making that stuff more public. But you couldn't see like how many people liked something, but you could see the people responding to it and stuff, which if people are responding to things, which they're likely to do on a new platform because they're actively trying to use the new platform, it's going to make it feel a little bit more active than it might actually be. And I think that was a good way to get people into like, no, this is real, things are happening, this is okay, this is good. Apparently Mr. Beast has more followers on there than Zuckerberg.
That doesn't surprise me. Does that surprise you?
No, but it's just funny.
I mean, the Zuck is just sort of like, oh man, you kind of reluctantly, like, you have to pay attention to him. I mean, it really, realistically, I mean, it's no different than Musk, it's no different than Bezos. Like, it's not like,
Musk is just like more public than all the rest of them.
No offense to any of them. I actually don't need to have dinner with them. Like, I just,
yeah.
But I work in the tech industry. I do have to kind of pay attention to what the crap it is they're doing this time.
Yeah. Mr. Beast is doing a Tesla giveaway on Threads. Are you sure that's not a bot?
Yeah, no, he is.
Oh, wow.
Because he's like, whatever, it's Jimmy, right? Like,
he's just memeing.
Yeah, he just does things. Apparently, we have a Thread something. I wanted to
but it's not
look
official.
At it. Yeah, it is.
It is now?
I don't know. What does official mean?
Apparently, we didn't have an official account on Instagram.
You mean like a verified account?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So they're working on it, I guess.
Okay.
We should have official accounts, except for when you have to pay for them, and then we shouldn't have official.
Do I even? Okay, I do have Instagram on my phone. Okay, I can log in another account. Oh God, I don't even know the password.
What are you even trying to do?
I want to see our thread. I haven't even seen it yet.
Hold on.
Oh, you have? Oh, right. Yeah, you have it. Okay, cool. I get to see our Threads presence. The social team was telling me that apparently interaction is pretty similar on Threads to the other major platforms right now.
Yeah.
Just because it's the new hotness, right? So people are just checking it out. Oh, hey, they have one of the tweets Threads that I suggested today.
Someone pointed out, I've barely used the app, but someone pointed out that when you go to sharing, you can tweet Threads.
Oh, really?
Which looks really weird because now there's like a tweet button in Threads, which is like...
That blows my mind.
What's happening right now?
Okay.
People are asking, what is Threads? Threads
Really? Oh.
is Instagram or Meta's or Facebook's, whatever, response to Twitter, effectively. It is their version of Twitter. Yeah, they've been working on it since January, and now it's released. That's how you know something was really, really hard.
Well, apparently my idea did not perform very well.
Get owned.
Liked by
What was it?
the Brad Fad and others. And then the one under it is, oh no, okay, apparently some of them just,
See, some of the metrics are like not,
weird.
yeah.
View likes, something.
But then you have to like
What?
scroll
It's
through
a
all of
whole
it. It
list of
doesn't show
everyone
you the
who liked
number.
the thing.
Yeah, like it's oddly obscured, which I
interesting.
feel like my gut is telling me was a choice for the initial launch, so that it wasn't the focus.
Right. Okay. Yep. I have no idea. And anything I can only access on my phone just doesn't exist to me.
Yeah, there's no website. What the heck?
I remember people telling me when TikTok was popping off. I remember people telling me how actually, for that matter, when Instagram was popping off. I remember people telling me how amazing it was. And I would go to Instagram.com and
The
it would just
desktop
read.
experience is terrible.
No, I'm talking before that.
Oh.
When it was just a link to the App Store. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just realistically, like most of what you're doing is probably like web-based anyway. Just put it in a stupid vertical window. I don't care.
I feel like how much web browsing I do in a browser on a desktop is probably the like boomerist thing about me.
Yeah.
I want the website to be the best version, but for a lot of the like hip young, apps and experiences and products and whatever, they're like isn't even a website, or like you were just talking about, it's just a link to the App Store, or it's an afterthought like Instagram's currently is, or something like that. It's just like, oh man, like, oh well. Websites work better. I mean, sure, when they do, they don't for everyone.
Yep. Yep, that's fair. Man, okay, let's take bets here. Who emerges here? Because Blue Sky hasn't gone away.
Nope.
They just seem to be still ramping infrastructure.
I don't think it's going to be Blue Sky personally.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough, but
I think Threads will beat Blue Sky. I feel like right now I would be making a complete up in the air guess based on nothing to say whether it would be Twitter or Threads.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Twitter has a chance?
I do. I do. I would absolutely not at all be surprised if Threads just completely took their lunch either. Like I'm not really in any camp here.
I have experienced a significantly degraded experience on Twitter over time.
Yeah, but
over the
Threads
last while.
is currently like very lacking in features and
That's
stuff.
fair, but look at what freaking Twitter was up to this week with rate limiting on scrolling posts. Like that's embarrassing. That's like rolling blackouts.
I
Right?
thought
Like,
it was
that's-
hilarious. This is
Well,
like
yeah, obviously you think it's funny,
I
but
think
it's
it's
not.
so funny.
It's-
I thought it was good even because like whatever, get off this garbage app. It's great.
Well, right, but we're talking
It's not
about
good for the app.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
screw them.
Like it was.
But okay, there's a discussion
how do
question
you
here.
choose which dumpster fire to cheer for?
That's the problem.
Burn,
yeah,
burn
I
more
just
than
want
the
them,
other guy.
I just
I
want them
love
both
that smell.
to burn. Yeah, I want them to competitively burn. The discussion question on this topic is: the world needs another Twitter, but should we really want another Meta-run social media platform? And that's it. It's like, really, this is the one that's gonna do it? Like, man, like I didn't really think Blue Sky had much of a chance. But I thought maybe because there was nothing else. And then now there's something else. And now I think they're screwed. And for as much as like...
This is a lot of momentum when Blue Sky is still limiting signups because they like can't build infrastructure fast enough, I assume. That's
Or
my guess.
something.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you limit signups if you can just have momentum on your side? I am blown away that Meta managed to pull this out of complete
Nowhere.
stealth.
Yeah.
I
don't know a single person that saw this coming.
no idea.
No.
Like, okay, they probably could have seen it coming,
Yeah.
but
like,
I don't think anyone knew it was
informed.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How is a company the size of Meta Facebook working on a project like this?
I wonder how big the team was.
Okay, well, let's get to that. One of the major developments this week is that Twitter, upon seeing the launch of Threads, threatened a lawsuit on the grounds that Meta allegedly hired ex-Twitter employees and misappropriated Twitter's trade secrets and other intellectual property. A Meta spokesperson responded that no one on the Threads engineering team is a former Twitter employee, which I don't think is a sicker burn on Elon Musk or a sicker burn on the former Twitter employee base. We actually literally didn't need any of you to make this
None of them.
like kind of less feature-rich Twitter.
They wouldn't have. Again, I'm going to say it is not very complicated. If they can build Instagram, they can build Threads.
Can I just say that it is absolutely hilarious that you would go in, acquire a company, fire the majority of the employees there, and then be surprised if there was some kind of like knowledge, like brain drain that occurred that enabled a competitor.
Yeah,
it's not what happened. What if it had? Like, what do employees owe you exactly? If you can someone, like, what they're gonna pretend they never worked there?
This is part of like non-competes and intellectual property though. So if they did use like Twitter proprietary stuff,
sure, but clearly Threads is not running Twitter code
and wouldn't need to. Yeah, so like I don't know. It's clearly a lash out. Yeah,
just it comes across pretty sour grapes, and I'm sorry, but I can't feel bad for someone who goes in and half arbitrarily just like destroys the livelihoods of thousands of people.
Oh yeah.
Was that ship sustainable?
No,
probably not. But
definitely not.
Then you shouldn't have bought it.
Yeah.
That the time to do this correctly was before you actually wrote the check.
I think the only thing
funny
that doesn't bother me quite as much about it is that I am rather certain they were all losing their jobs anyways.
I mean, that's fair enough.
We talked in the early days.
Yep.
Before Elon bought Twitter, about how insane Twitter was as a business, just burning literally billions of dollars a year
forever,
with no plan to profitability,
perpetuity.
With no, like, it was actually one of the like one of the most dumpster fire businesses I've ever seen. Like, it made no sense at all. So like it was not going to be sustainable, and the reaper's coming for a lot of these types of companies that just make no money and have no plan to ever make any money and just lose tons of money. That was a thing for a really long time, but you're seeing that kind of end. So I don't know. Makes me feel less bad. It still sucks that they're out of work, but I don't think it's actually really that much different.
Helix919 in Twitch chat says, non-competes are hard to enforce when you broke contracts and didn't pay the severance to the employees you fired.
Yikes. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Yeah. Oh, that's epic. So someone in chat said, how would you design a Twitter clone is an extremely common tech interview question. And yeah, it is.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah.
Just why? Because it's
like early university level project. Like the difficulty is the scaling, right?
Okay, I was gonna say, I feel like every time we have this conversation, I have to point out that serving a text post to one person is easy. Serving a text post to 100 million people is actually not that easy.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, then we're on the same page.
But we've had Dig and Reddit forever. We've had Twitter forever. Like this, the knowledge around that type of tech has been around for a very long time. And the amount that something gets easy over time in the development space is like quite rapid. When something is first created, it might have been extremely hard to create that thing. But 3 years later, 6 years later, 9 years later, more and more on, it gets significantly easier.
In Floatplane chat says, Threads probably started as a hobby project by some of the Facebook engineers.
Well, I think, is it in here? I think it was genuinely January, right?
It's not in our notes, I'm not sure.
No, it's Insta.
Yeah, Coder Goth says the hard part of Twitter isn't the UI, it's the scale and the content moderation. That's another big one. But with that said, I mean, Twitter has basically abandoned all pretense of content moderation at this point, as far as I can tell. Meanwhile, Meta is saying that they are going to take.
Yeah, they want it to be the friendly platform.
They want it to be the
which is actually very attractive to a lot of brands for advertisements, which sustain a platform.
I wish them the best of luck.
Oh yeah, I know it'll be tough.
Because the problem with having a friendly platform with a lot of users is that users is just another word for people, and people are f***ing assholes.
Yeah.
Especially when they have anonymity. And so imagining that you're going to somehow have, it's like saying, I'm going to make a multiplayer game, one with a non-toxic user base. It's like, well, I was with you up until you're going to make a multiplayer game. That sounds good. That second part though,
yeah, it's why online play is never rated, right?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess that's fair enough.
So, couple things here. Yes, development did start in January. 2, it was called Project 92 internally. And I just Googled Project 92 rumors, and there's stuff from like June. Rumor has it Meta is making a comeback, riding a virtual wave of blah, 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 something. Project 92, Meta versus Twitter, posted in June. So there was some people that were like, something's happening. But, yeah, interesting.
Top Gear 1224 in Floatplane chat asks us, where's the line between advertiser friendly and censorship?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't work in I hate that stuff. Our thing on the forum was always like, this is a tech site, just stop.
Yeah, the line is that it's a completely optional service that you don't need, that is run by a private company.
Yeah, like and that's honestly it too. Like with Threads,
that's not government censorship. That's that thing.
Like if
so
Threads
the
is
line
like,
is don't use it.
You don't get to talk about politics ever. Well, that's their.
That actually might be a good thing.
It might be.
Are they saying that?
No,
okay.
I'm just saying. Like,
I was going to say, man, maybe I will. Maybe I'll take another crack at this.
I would legitimately be more interested. But yeah, like if they decide to say that it's a private platform, this is not a government funded thing. This is not public property. Like they could do that. The forum is exactly like that. We're like, yeah, we don't want you talking about a bunch of stuff. Why? Because we don't want to deal with it. Yeah. This is not the right place, and this is absolutely not the right time. Go somewhere else. Like, I don't know. That's it.
It's gotten phenomenally stupid to me, though, the kinds of things that have become political. Like, remember when gas ranges turned into a political issue for like...
everything's weird.
For like 6 minutes.
But this is why neither of us do this. Like, and this is why. This is too nuanced. It's weird. I'd rather just do other stuff. I hate content moderation is such a nightmare. Like no interest at all. When we started doing this, like the 24-hour live stream thing, we were just responsible for like the tech side of it. So I wasn't really thinking about much else.
Yeah.
Once it went live, I was like, oh, there's going to be a chat. Oh no. And then went to go see that at that point in time we had it disabled, and I was like, okay. This makes sense. It's kind of a weird viewing experience.
Let's have a little debate here.
Sure.
I personally intervened and had the chat turned back on.
Yeah. No, it should be. Okay, so hold on, because that's going to sound weird considering my previous reaction. I am going to be very surprised if there are no issues with the fact that there is a live chat on there. And I hope people understand that a 24-hour live stream is going to be impossible to perfectly moderate the chat. So there's going to be some stuff in there that's going to be garbage. It is what it is.
I expect it to be basically all garbage.
Yeah. Hopefully auto moderator tools are able to do a pretty good job with it.
I expect nothing. I expect it to actually be garbage. That is my personal Linus Sebastian guarantee to you that every message, even the one that you are furiously typing right now to demonstrate how galaxy your brain is and how amazing the quality of your post is going to be, is garbage. Everything in that live stream chat is garbage. That is my personal promise. There.
Rebel against him by saying nice things to people. But yeah, no, without the live chat, that thing is literally useless.
Yeah.
You are actively on YouTube.